Guinea pigs are naturally social, curious and adventurous creatures, and with a little effort they can become very tame and form a special bond with you as their owner. But people often find it difficult to interact and play with their piggies without worrying about accidentally scaring them and even reversing the progress they've made on taming so far. So this video covers 10 different guinea pig approved ways of interacting, playing with and entertaining your piggies and you, whilst also strengthening the bond you have with them and encouraging them to trust you. Firstly, it's really important to remember that guinea pigs are social animals. They are happiest and healthiest in pairs or groups. So if you have a lone piggy, the single best thing you can do is to get them a friend. It will make them more confident, trusting, and they'll become tame much quicker as they learn from each other. Secondly, remember that whilst our piggies can be incredibly playful, they are also prey animals, so they can be wary of new things, and it's important to always be patient with them. Let's start off with one of the easiest ways to interact with your piggies, and that's building an association between you, a noise you make, and their favourite time of day, veggie time. So for me, I make a tutting noise, and I'll also tap the edge of their plate, choose something distinctive that they can recognise easily, and try and do it every time you give them their dinner. Hello. Even if they are shy to begin with, they'll make the link and start either squeaking or getting really excited for their incoming veggies. Number 2 is something that helps timid piggies especially learn to trust you, and once they get more confident, it's just the most adorable way to have fun with them. When you give them their fresh food, don't just plonk it down in the cage and walk away. Stay with them whilst they eat. Talk to them and build up to hand feeding. If you hand feed regularly, your piggies will start to get over that fear they naturally have of approaching you, and if they're quite confident already, like the herd here, it's a super way to continue strengthening that bond. Number 3 is try to provide an assortment of different homemade or recycled things in the cage. So this might be cardboard boxes with entrances cut into them, makeshift cardboard tunnels. Just if you're using sellotape, always supervise them so they don't chew on it. Or it could be toilet roll tubes made into fun hay holders or treat holders. So I'm putting some dried forage in this one to see what they make of it, and I'm also putting some of their lovely Timothy hay in this modified kitchen roll tube. You can also use paper bags stuffed with hay. Then just change up the cage, put their new hideys, tunnels and toys in and watch them explore. The best thing is it doesn't matter if they get gross and they don't last that long, your guinea pigs will not care and they will genuinely appreciate them. And it just shows you don't have to spend money to create something new and fun for them. If, however, you do want to invest some money and you do want something long-lasting that you can use time and time again, you could try out some special enrichment toys with your piggies. The Living World Teach and Treat is a good one, but I recommend using lettuce instead of peaflakes, as we quickly learned, so that they can actually grab their reward easier. Other ones my piggies have had fun with are the Hay Pigs Treat Ball, the Naturals Nibble and Dig Mat, and this hanging lettuce washing line from Haybox, even if things did get a bit chaotic. You can also make your own veggie washing line version of this one with some twine and pegs stretching across the full length of the cage. I also laughed so hard watching the piggies have a go at sharing their veg with the Hay Pigs kebab maker. Needless to say, sharing is not their strong point.
Roxy is just sleeping at this point. Too many activities.
Once your piggies start getting more confident, you might catch them popcorning and even doing the zoomies, where they race around the cage. And I found that you can actually encourage the zoomies by giving them something big in the middle of the cage to run around or explore in at that time of day when they are usually most active. So you could try just putting a huge pile of hay in the middle of their cage, for example. Or an easy one I like to do sometimes is clear some space and plonk 1 or 2 big fleece blankets in for them to have fun with. Number 6 is a fun way to encourage your piggies to tune into their natural instincts for foraging. So try scatter feeding pellets around the cage instead of putting them in a bowl, or do the same but with forage or other treats. I find scattering dried forages in their hay is really great for this. You know the forage is good for them, so you don't have to worry about giving them too many treats at once, and I also find it encourages them to eat more hay, which is really important for their diet. You can also do this and just leave your guinea pigs to it. It will keep them entertained for a while until you're next around to play with them. Number 7 is leveling up number 6, and it's doing a veggie hunting challenge with your piggies. You can hand feed as well, but whilst you do, try positioning some veggies in places where they have to reach to find them. I like going for ones on top of hammocks, tunnels and wooden arches, as well as inside hideys and other nooks and crannies around the cage where they have to work for their reward. You might find you have a natural veggie sniffer-outer who is blessed with the skills of finding hidden veggie treasure, or you might have a hopeless case who has no idea where to start looking and just keeps coming back to you for more. This one is such an easy way for you to just check in on your piggies and have a bit of fun with them. Get yourself some peaflakes, most piggies really enjoy these, and hand feed a few of them every now and then. Over time, you can start encouraging your piggies to follow your hand and even stretch up onto their hind legs for their treat. I used peaflakes to teach the girls to spin in a circle, which they learnt really fast and have remembered really well. I've still got to do this with Nacho at some point. Numbers 9 and 10 are for more confident piggies, when you feel like they're up to starting to come out of the cage a bit more without being too scared and intimidated by their surroundings. If you're a new owner with young piggies, this might be after you've owned them for a fair few months and they are less skittish around you in the cage. Set up a playpen or make a safe area in the room and just sit down with them and enjoy their company. You could give them veggies or hand feed dried snacks to encourage them to explore. You could even try using your makeshift cardboard tunnels and houses, put a pile of cushions in the middle for them to zoom around, or create a maze or obstacle course for them to solve. Last of all is one of my favourites for bonding with my piggies, and I usually combine it with veggie time and hand feeding, sometimes whilst we're watching TV. Grab a cardboard box, pop some newspaper and hay in there, and grab them a fleece blanket. You can take them out of the box to spend a bit of time with them on your lap, eating their veggies whilst being stroked, and they can go back in the box for a toilet break and a bit of a hay munch. It's a great way to spend some quality time with your piggies on an evening. Especially for these last two, it really helps to practice picking up and handling your guinea pigs properly. Yes, it gets easier as they get tamer, but it's so much more about how confident you are in handling your piggies. So if you need tips and advice on that, then I'll pop up this video for you to watch next, which covers the different ways you can safely handle your piggies without them always running away all the time. But that's everything for today's video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the herd get up to all of their fun activities. Let me know what your favourites are to do with your own piggies, and as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very soon. Bye bye!
Go.